Daniel Dubois, Joseph Parker is going down this Saturday, the 22nd of February. Riyad Season Card is the co-main event to Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol, the rematch. And the big question I'm asking today is, once these two giants meet in the middle of the ring and they clash, who will quit? Because both fighters have come out recently in interviews saying that they will make the other guy quit. Now, are they just playing mind games? Is that what it is? Mind games, or do they really mean what they're saying? If you ask me, no chance in hell. There is no way either fighter is quitting during the fight. It's just not going to happen. And I tell you why. There's just too much at stake, too much on the line. And I'm not just talking about the IBF title. Do you know what I mean? It's not just that. I'm talking about ego. I'm talking about pride here. Do you know what I mean? Both guys have been talking so much rubbish to each other, so much smack talk. They're not going to want to go down as the quitter in this fight. Trust me. Listen, it's heavyweight boxing, isn't it? Anything can happen. One punch all of a sudden can change a fight. If you get knocked out, you get knocked out. Do you know what I mean? If you get hit with a body shot and you break your ribs and you can't breathe, so be it. Do you know what I mean? But trust me, they're not going to quit. No one is quitting in this fight. Do you know what I mean? And I say that also because I've seen enough from these two guys in the last few fights to show me that they both have the resilience. They both got what it takes to overcome adversity. We've seen it. Both guys have overcome adversities in the last few fights and gone on to win. Do you know what I mean? They've been able to weather the storm. So all this, I'm going to make him quit, it's just not going to happen. It's all mind games. Do you get me? And today, I've got the 5 keys to victories for both guys, Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois. And I'm going to share it with you today. Do you know what I mean? So stay tuned. But before we get started, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Smash the like button. Yeah, go ahead. Smash that like button. And also, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe, because that's how you're going to help the channel to grow. That's how you're going to help me and motivate me to keep bringing you this sick content. Do you know what I mean? But go ahead and do that. But listen, let's get into it, man. Joseph Parker, he's 6 years older than Daniel Dubois. Yeah, Joseph Parker, he's been around the block. He's been around for a while. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people might not know. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the casuals, a lot of you guys that are just coming into boxing, you're excited about Riyad Season Card. You're thinking, yo, who's this Joseph Parker guy? Do you know what I mean? He's been around for years now. Do you know what I mean? And also, he's been the world champion. He's got that experience. Do you know what I mean? He's been the danda. He's made a few mistakes in the past, had a few, do you know what I mean? Like off nights against George Joyce, Dylan White. Do you know what I mean? But he's bounced back. The level of resilience that Joseph Parker has shown in the last few years is incredible, remarkable, inspiring. And you know what? Hats off to Joseph Parker, man. He's done incredible to put himself back in this position where he's fighting for a world title. Do you know what I mean? That we cannot deny him. But at the same time, man, listen, he's facing Daniel, the Dynamite Dubois, the guy who knocked off the Golden Goose in Anthony Joshua. Do you know what I mean? A lot of you must surely know who Daniel Dubois is right now. You saw what he done last year at Wembley in front of 86,000 people. This kid is the real deal. And at 27 years of age, after what he's overcome, people calling him a quitter and everything like that, there's so much more growth in this kid. Do you know what I mean? There's so much more to come. Listen, I believe this. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Even if Daniel Dubois was to lose on Saturday, which a lot of people doubt, even myself, I highly doubt he's gonna lose. This guy's formidable power. Do you know what I mean? Daniel Dubois. Even if he loses, if you look at the landscape of the heavyweight division, Usyk is old, Joshua is old, even Parker himself at 33 years of age, he hasn't got long left. Daniel Dubois is probably going to reign supreme in the heavyweight division for many more years to come. So we might as well get used to this kid. We might as well get used to seeing him. Some people are saying Daniel Dubois is being arrogant, being cocky, but you know what? There's a thin line between arrogance and confidence. And for me, if you knock out the Golden Goose, which is Anthony Joshua in front of 86,000 people at Wembley, listen, you deserve, you earned it. Do you know what I mean? You should feel a little bit arrogant. You should feel overconfident. Not overconfident, sorry, but you should feel confidence. Do you know what I mean? You should be feeling yourself. You just knocked out Anthony Joshua. Come on, how many people have done that? How many people have done that apart from Andy Ruiz, and then he blew up and got fat? Do you know what I mean? So well done to Daniel Dubois, and we're going to give him the respect that he deserves. Now, is he overlooking Parker? I think so. Many people believe so also. But listen, we're going to find out Saturday night whether he's taking his eye off the ball. Do you know what I mean? But let's start with Joseph Parker, and I'm going to give you my 5 keys to victory that, for this fight. What Joseph Parker has to do in this fight to get the W, to get the win and realize his dream of becoming 2 times heavyweight champion of the world. There's not many people that can say they've done that. Do you know what I mean? So he will join any elite club. So let's get into this, man. My first key to victory for Joseph Parker is ring IQ. Like I said already, Joseph Parker has been around the block. Yeah, he's got loads of experience. He's lost some fights, won fights. He's had to overcome a lot. So use a lot of that ring IQ that he's gained over the years against Daniel Dubois. Yes, Daniel Dubois has had some fantastic results in his last few fights, but he's still very naive. Daniel Dubois in certain situations, certain moments during fights, he still has a mistake in him. Do you know what I mean? And if Joseph Parker can use his ring IQ to explode those mistakes during the fight, he will have a lot of success. Do you know what I mean? And when I'm talking about ring IQ, yeah, it takes me to my next keys to victory. Yeah, what I mean is time your engagements, Joseph Parker. Do you know what I mean? I've heard from Andy Lee, his coach. I've heard from other people saying, yo, Joseph Parker has to meet Daniel Dubois in the center of the ring and bang it out, slag it out. Do you know what I mean? Show no respect. Just go out there and just try and blast out Dubois. Listen, you'll be making a big mistake because Daniel Dubois has got fast hands. Daniel Dubois, the double jab is lethal. We saw what he done to Anthony Joshua with that double jab. Do you know what I mean? So Joseph Parker, do not get in this illusion that you can just go out there and really take on Daniel Dubois, especially early on. Do not engage in silliness in the first 5 rounds. Play it smart. Like I said, use your ring IQ, time and be very calculative with when you engage. Have moments where you can engage, have moments where you need to clinch, have moments where you need to hold, have moments where you need to play dirty. Use all your vast experience to offset the momentum of Daniel Dubois in this fight. Because trust me, if you don't do that, if you go out there and try and be rash, if you go out there and pull your pride and ego on at the front, do you know what I mean? And try and just go out there, try and just be silly, you are going to get knocked out. Because we saw that's what happened to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua thought, you know what? F it. Who the hell is this Daniel Dubois? I'm going to go out there, just go fire for fire. Toe to toe, no discipline, no head movement, no defense, hands down, and he got absolutely sparked out. Joseph Parker, trust me, you've got nothing to prove to the world. The only people you have to prove to is yourself. You only have to prove to yourself, and your dream is to become 2 times world heavyweight champion. Do it by any means necessary, my guy. Do not listen to the outside noise. Do not let Daniel Dubois get in your head, make you think like, yo, let me just go out and trade with this guy. Don't do that. Big mistake. I truly believe in my heart of hearts, Daniel Dubois is the bigger puncher in this fight. Do you know what I mean? He's the bigger puncher. Now, Joseph Parker, he's got a pop to him, but I don't think Joseph Parker has got that one punch knockout power. I don't think he's got that in him. Daniel Dubois does. We've seen him against Adrian. We've seen how he sparked out Philip Hrgovic. We've seen how durable he was against Jerome Miller, who was a lump. Do you know what I mean? Absolute lump. And Joseph Parker ain't going to weigh that much. Do you know what I mean? So Joseph Parker, like I said, time your engagement, calculate your engagement, risk versus rewards, mate. Do you know what I mean? If taking a risk is not worth the reward, don't take it. Do you know what I mean? Reset. Move around a bit, move around the ring. Do you know what I mean? Ring generalship. You need all of those qualities in this fight to be able to take on a young, hungry, aggressive Daniel Dubois. Do you know what I mean? That's my second keys to victory for Joseph Parker. Now, also, the third keys to victory for Joseph Parker, head and body movement. This will offset that double jab from Daniel Dubois. We saw Daniel Dubois struggle against Alexander Usyk. No matter what anyone say, don't let anyone gas you up. People saying, oh, Daniel Dubois, he was unlucky with a low blow. Was he a low blow? Was he on the belt? Was he below the belt? Listen, Daniel Dubois was losing pretty much every single round in that fight before he was stopped. Don't let people cloud your judgment or whatever. Go back and watch the fight for yourself and watch it. You know, after the low blow, what did Usyk do? He came back and dominated. But when I rewatched that fight, one thing Usyk is very good at, we know Usyk's defense is incredible. Probably one of the best in the world right now. And one thing Usyk is very good at, head and body movement simultaneously at the same time. I'm not talking about just move your head. No, move your head and body at the same time. Do you know what I mean? That will offset that double jab. And also, when you do move your head and body at the same time, you have to punish Daniel Dubois as he's coming in. So you have, as you're moving and slipping and sliding and rolling and dodging these punches, you have to punish Daniel Dubois with a jab. You have to punish him with a right hand, straight right hand to the face. Make him think twice. Because this is Daniel Dubois' strategy. Is going to come in, double jab, and let the right hand go. Be aggressive on the front foot, bouncing around in your face. Very intimidating. Joseph Parker, you cannot allow that to happen and develop during that fight. If you allow Daniel Dubois to start bouncing around, hopping around, double jab, closing the range on you, letting that right hand go, you're in big trouble. Big trouble. And your head and body movement is vital. It's key in this fight, because if Joseph Parker does what Gerald Miller does, he does what Filip Hrgović did, he does what AJ did, and I think for AJ was the worst example of it, where he stood very tall, chin in the air, hands down, and he was like, yo, just have a swing at me. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I have no doubt Joseph Parker will not make these same mistakes that Anthony Joshua did. Do you know what I mean? But trust me, Joseph Parker, head movement is vital, and also body movement at the same time, so that you can set up your shots. I'm sure his coach, Andy Lee, has already gone through this. Do you know what I mean? This is between me and you. Me and you, my viewers. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure they've already worked that in training. Now, number 4, the keys to victory for Joseph Parker. The number 4 is slow the pace of the fight down. We already know Daniel Dubois is going to pretty much use the same strategy that he used against Anthony Joshua. I'm certain of it. Trust me. Saturday evening, we're going to watch the fight together. Yeah. The bell rings. Daniel Dubois is going to race across that ring to meet Joseph Parker and put him under pressure right off the bat. That's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen now. Joseph Parker has to be smart. He has to clinch. That's one thing Anthony Joshua didn't do. Anthony Joshua didn't try and clinch. He didn't try and hold. He didn't use none of his experience, none of the ring IQ that he's acquired after all these years, been in a lot of title fights. He did not show any intelligence whatsoever. That's one thing Daniel Dubois has to learn from. Really watch those tapes. Slow the fight down when you need to slow it down. Do you know what I mean? Because Daniel Dubois is going to come at that intensity, high-paced. He's going to want to fight at a high pace. And Joseph Parker, being the slower, older fighter, he'll be in trouble if he tries to match that and trying to keep up with that pace. Slow that fight down by holding, clinching, grabbing, being a bit dirty. Do some dirty things in there. Anything to offset the rhythm of Daniel Dubois, especially early on. Like I said, from round 1 to round 5, absolutely do everything you can possible to put off Daniel Dubois. Because we've seen Daniel Dubois. Once he gets frustrated, once things are not going his way, once the double jab is not working, once he's not landing, he does get discouraged. Daniel Dubois does get discouraged. And what happens when Daniel Dubois gets discouraged? Joseph Parker takes over, starts landing a jab, starts working on the body, starts landing a couple of right hands. What's that going to do to the psyche, the mindset of Daniel Dubois? It might just take him back to that dark place that he once was against Joe Joyce, and against Alexander Usyk. That's what Joseph Parker has to do to Daniel Dubois. Take him back to that dark place. Make him doubt himself again. Remove that confidence that Daniel Dubois gained from the AJ fight. Take it away from him. Make him feel the way he felt when he fought Joe Joyce. I know that's going to be hard, but Joseph Parker has enough experience. Yeah, he has enough nouns, enough ring IQ. He has enough about him to implement this game plan. Trust me, he does. He really does. Do you know what I mean? And also, the last keys to victory for Joseph Parker. Like I said already, time your engagements, head movement and upper body movement, slow the pace down, use your ring IQ, and one thing Joseph Parker that is really going to have to overcome in this fight a lot is to weather the storm. This is the last one. Weather the storm, because trust me, Joseph Parker will get clipped in this fight. I believe so. Joseph Parker will get clipped in this fight. He will get hurt. There will be moments where he will have to hang on in there. There will be moments in there where he will have to weather the storm. He will have to just show tremendous mental, physical strength to stay in this fight, especially early on, because Dubois is going to come for him. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I say, the keys to victory for Joseph Parker as well. He has to stay composed. Stay composed the whole time, even when things are not going your way. He might have a cut. Do you know what I mean? He might be bleeding. Like, he cannot allow that to get to him and throw off all his game plan. Stick to that game plan. Keep going at it, because trust me, he will have his moments against Daniel Dubois. Everyone does. Even AJ, as much as he was rubbish, as much as AJ was crap in the last fight, AJ was still able to clip Daniel Dubois. And if it wasn't for AJ's ill discipline, he could have took Dubois. He could have got Dubois out of there. But AJ just didn't have no discipline at all. No discipline whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? So if Joseph Parker can show that composure, the discipline, ring IQ, like I said, calculate, be very calculative, in terms of be calculative and measured with his aggression in there. If you use the ring IQ, trust me, Joseph Parker can get the win in this fight against Daniel Dubois. Those are my 5 keys to victory for Joseph Parker. Now, I'm going to go quick one on Daniel Dubois, because this kid is just, he's amazing. He's incredible. And you know what? There's so much more to come from Daniel Dubois. Like I said in the beginning, 27 years of age, there's so much more to come. Do you know what I mean? Now, Daniel Dubois, for me, the keys to victory for him, I'm going to give you 5. Number 1, aggression. Daniel Dubois cannot afford, okay, maybe not afford, but let me say this. He should not deviate away from the game plan that he had against Anthony Joshua and Filip Hrgović. Do you know what I mean? I know some people might say, yo, Daniel Dubois, like, Joseph Parker already knows what you're going to bring. F it. Bring that same energy. For me personally, bring that same energy, but with a different level of just more intelligence and much more calmer, much more measured. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously Joseph Parker is not going to stand too chin in the air like AJ did and his hands down. He's not going to do that. So Daniel Dubois, be aggressive. Keep that aggressiveness, keep that rawness about you, because that is Daniel Dubois. He's raw, he's aggressive, he's very tenacious. Do you know what I mean? He's bouncing around, double jab. We see him very aggressive, get in your face. And if you allow him to start teeing off on you, trust me, you will find yourself face flat on that canvas, like AJ had to find out the hard way. Do you know what I mean? So for me, number 1 keys to victory for Daniel Dubois, keep that aggression. The hand speed as well, man. Daniel Dubois, I don't think he gets enough credit for his hand speed, man. I was watching him against Filip Hrgović and against AJ. Boy, that boy's got hand speed for a heavyweight. I'm not going to say he's the quickest heavyweight I've ever seen, no, but he's got hand speed. He throws volumes at you as well. Do you know what I mean? Hence why it was so hard for AJ to defend against him. It was so hard for Filip Hrgović, even though Filip Hrgović had a lot of success early on. But once Dubois made the adjustments and started hitting him with that double jab and throwing fast hands. Hrgovic couldn't deal with it. He throws volume, this boy Dubois. And it's so hard to defend. It's so hard to overcome it. The only guy that probably managed it well was, I say it was Alexander Usyk. And then Alexander Usyk is special. Do you know what I mean? Hand speed of Daniel Dubois. That's one of the keys to victory for my guy, man. For Daniel Dubois as well, make a statement early. Make a statement early. Just like he did with Joshua in the first round where he knocked Joshua down, go out there and try and knock Joseph Parker down early. Let Joseph Parker know, listen, my guy, you're in a fight here. You're in a real fight, my guy. See everything I say to you during the interviews, face off and everything like that, I meant that. I'm really that guy. I'm Daniel Dubois and I'm here to take you out. Do you know what I mean? Command that respect from the get-go. First round, run across the ring, try and knock these guys' head off. You know what I mean? Establish that power right early. Get Joseph Parker on his bike. Because as soon as Joseph Parker feels that power, he's either gonna... He has to make a decision there. He's either stands there and trades and risks getting knocked out, or he gets on his bike and starts running, starts moving around the ring. Daniel Dubois can definitely establish that respect with his power early on. Don't get frustrated. Another keys to victory for Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois, when things don't go his way, we've seen it, and he has improved. To be fair to the kid, he has improved recently, but when things don't go his way, when they take him to that dark place, he gets frustrated. The game plan goes out the window. All of a sudden, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not listening to Don Charles, his coach. Things starts to go downhill from then on. So for Daniel Dubois, if the pace of the fight is not working, if your aggressiveness is not working, if your power is not working on Joseph Parker, if Joseph Parker is still there round 6, 7, 8, and Daniel Dubois is probably cut or is getting a bit tired, do not get frustrated. Remember how you got here in the first place. Remember how you won this belt, my guy. Remember what you've had to overcome over the years. Do not let those past demons come back to haunt you on the night of the 22nd of February. Do not allow that. If you can overcome that, if you can overcome the little frustration, if you can overcome the little blips during the fights, maybe from round 6 and up, trust me, Daniel Dubois, yeah? With your power, your aggression, everything like that, I see you getting this dub. I see you getting a knockout, my guy. Do you know what I mean? And the last one as well, the last keys to victory as well, I've got here, show patience and discipline. Do you know what I mean? And this ties up to not getting frustrated. Do you know what I mean? Show patience. Daniel Dubois, I was really impressed when he fought Jerome Miller. Jerome Miller was a lump, big guy. What he tried to do is try to really get to the willpower of Daniel Dubois. He was banking on just putting his hands up, taking all the shots from Daniel Dubois, getting Daniel Dubois tired, and then taking him into deep waters around about the second half of the fight, round 6 and upwards. But guess what? Daniel Dubois did not fall for that. Yes, Daniel Dubois was fatigued. He got tired, but I feel like he got that second wind. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Just that confidence. He came back into the fight and he stopped Jerome Miller. That willpower. Do you know what I mean? That patience that he showed in that fight, because Jerome Miller started to get to him, but Daniel Dubois was relentless. He just kept coming. He just kept going. Do you know what I mean? If he can show that level of attitude, that same ability that he did against Joe Baby Miller, trust me, Daniel Dubois will get rid of Joseph Parker. If he doesn't, he win by points or something. Trust me. Do you know what I mean? These are my keys to victory for Daniel Dubois. Listen, it's going to be a fascinating fight, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be crazy. Do you know what I mean? It's a crazy card. I'm just looking forward to it. I'm excited. And I'm excited. And right now, I still don't really have a prediction. Do you know what I mean? Still kind of on the fence. I really like Joseph Parker. Nice guy from New Zealand. He's done a lot. He's overcome a lot. And you know what? He will be deserving of becoming a 2-time world heavyweight champion. Such a nice guy. But then on the other hand, I really like Daniel Dubois because I see him as the future of the heavyweight boxing. He's overcome so much. People calling him a quitter, saying he's got no heart and none of that. For him to achieve what he's achieved now is just absolutely incredible. Do you know what I mean? So I'm still on the fence. I'll make my decision come Friday evening. I'll make my decision who I think is going to win. But either way, man, I'm looking at online, looking at the betting odds and everything like that. It looks like Daniel Dubois is a slight favorite. But let's not count Joseph Parker out because trust me, he's a solid dude as well. But I'm going to leave it at that. I think I've said enough. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's engage. Let's have that conversation. Listen, thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. I really appreciate you guys, man. Drop in the comments. Let me know who you think is going to win. I really appreciate that. But listen, I'll be back with another one real soon, man. Until then, stay blessed. Peace out.